Hi everybody, we're back again today to show you how to take some things from your sewing room, your attic, your garage, wherever, the basement, and make them into a fun product that'll help you in your sewing room. My name is Sally Dolan and I'm from Quilt Supplies for You. So let's get started, everybody. Alright, step one. This happens to be the spring, and you'll notice that I've got some pressboard pieces in here. There are actually two of them, and they are covered with an old plastic tablecloth that I had. Just very inexpensive, not particularly pretty, but I put it on here and stapled them down, and the next thing I'm going to do is put this in the bottom of the crib. Alright, now we've dropped this thing into position. You can see that the two pieces are here just side by side. It really doesn't matter. We're going to store rulers, small ironing boards, and I had two of these things for holding your rulers together. Just screwed them down to here so they can't move and aligned them with the slats so the rulers can go in quite easily this way. Now if you have, stop. Alright, we've started putting this on here. We've used a couple of small drywall screws, one down there at the end, one on the bottom underneath the section of the last one, very similar to over here, and we're going to fasten this on. Just drill it in. Okay, she's in place. Now this pivots over and we're going to drill this in too. Then we're going to put some plastic on top of it, and I'll get that for you in a second. You can see how easy it is to put that in using that handy dandy staple gun that you borrowed from your husband's supplies. Alright, we're all done screwing things back together, and we've decided that we really don't need those bolts after all. So don't rush out and buy them. Maybe you have everything you need. Next step is the plastic. This is the heavy duty plastic that I picked up at Walmart. And you're wondering why we need heavy-duty plastic on top of here. Well, a lot of you have pets. My dogs just think it's a great deal of fun to grab hold of this thread and run with it. And then, of course, the spools come out and then the other dogs chase it. I have friends with cats who like this even better. If you don't put the plastic over it, you're liable to end up with a cat or a dog having surgery from all of the threads in their intestinal system. Also, I'm going to scoot down here just a little bit. Also, this keeps your thread nice and dust free. Just use your staple gun, come across the top, a few strategic staples all the way down, every 8 or 10 inches, and you've got her done. Now, one of the tricks that you're going to have to do when you put this wood on your side of your piece is be sure to drill yourself some pilot holes. These cribs are fairly hardwood, and they want to split if you don't pre-drill the holes. So let's get back to it. Again, we're going to be covering the top in just a minute. Thanks for... Now, if you have those pet problems I talked about, leave your plastic about 4 inches longer on both ends. This you can wrap around once you put your thread on there. Use those wonderful butterfly clamps that we hung. You have to get above this wood to get them on there. But that way the little darlings can't get in there and pop that up. I have a really smart cavalier who has learned to short circuit this, get underneath, and pull off the thread. So we take care of how he handles things. Now we're going to put the top together. That's going to give us an ironing space. And you'll see that this turns out to be just a wonderful place. I generally fill it up with a lot of projects. It's not so good for ironing when you do that, but it works. Alright, we've laid it up here on top of the crib so it's easy to work on. No sense breaking our backs. Taking this old blanket, folded it in half, put it on top of here. See, it doesn't match perfect, which is fine. Trimmed off the bound ends so you don't have lumpiness. Now these are the cheapy scraps of batting that I had, and you can see they're very thin. So we just kind of layered them up on top of here, made sure that they weren't too big or too baggy or too wrinkled. And if you feel there's not a significant change in thickness, we've worked out most of the wrinkles. And now it's ready for the fabric. So this is a piece of ticking, and like I told you earlier, I had this for a project that I was doing, and this is the leftover piece. We're going to use this for our ironing board cover, and my partner down there is going to help me straighten this out. We're going to, it doesn't matter if there's leftovers, we can trim it or tack it down. Nobody's going to see it from the back. Alright, now we got it pretty much the way we're going to want it, so we're going to hold it under here, get a hold of it on both ends. This is where a friend comes in handy. And we're going to flip this little thing over. So tip it this way. There we go. Alright, now we're going to take that staple gun, and it's just going to be like wrapping a package. We're going to come along here, and probably since we've got these wonderful little lines, we're probably going to stay with these lines to at least convince people that we've kept it reasonably straight, make it look a little bit better. And we'll staple it on. We're going to go all the way to the end, and then we'll come over here, tug on it this way. I'm tugging till I feel it firm up. And then I'll put a few staples, not a lot. If I haven't done it right, I don't want to have to take out a ton. We'll just put a few in here, and then we'll check it. Alright, it's all in place now. It's not wobbling back and forth here, because what we've done is we've taken a couple pieces of that stuff you bought to put underneath the area rug to keep a friend from falling, and we've just used these little scotch locks, or zip ties I think they call them, to hold this thing in place, and it does help keep it from moving. There's a bit of difference in the height here. Without this, it's only resting on these two corner posts on each end, and it slips and slides. So we've done that. Everything is in place. We're going to show you a couple more ideas for hanging, so just hang on a minute. Now don't let what I've done limit you. This is all about your sewing room. So use some of the things you find around your house and in your shop to put together a unit that will actually work best for you. This little gadget is something my brother made for me out of PVC pipe. He used the regular PVC pipe glue, glued these things together, put a little angle on here, and then it can be screwed on. It's great for holding things like your long arm continuous line quilting patterns, or you can use it for things like a lint roller, a paintbrush, whatever. Paintbrushes are really great for getting the lint out of your sewing machine bobbin case. But you can put one of those on or not. One of the other things that I like for this is I lift it up a little bit, put a hook here, and that's what I'll use to hang my 120-inch ruler on. Or I may have my iron sitting down on this end, and I'll put the cord on here so the dogs don't get snagged in it and pull the iron off the ironing area. This is another good thing you can do. Take it back and put your painter's tape on that little curtain rod that you got back there. You could put more than one of these hooks on an end. Use it to hang some of your embroidery hoops. There's no limit to what you can use these little storage things for. And I also have some tall fans that I use in the summertime. I actually tuck them back behind there. They're out of the way, and I don't have to drag them to the attic or take them to the basement. So do whatever works for you. So thanks for stopping by, everyone. We've really enjoyed this time with you, and we're hoping that you'll come back again and learn about two-seam bias binding. That's our next plan, and in the meantime, stop by quiltsuppliesforyou.com and visit our website.